We ready?
Can begin.
Nice. Isn't that idiot's lantern? Are you
I
sitting
sit
comfortably?
comfortably. Good.
Good.
Then I'll
Then
begin.
we'll begin.
Spoiler
Hello,
alert.
welcome to the Science of Harmony. We're keeping that bit in, by the way.
Of
On
course.
this channel, we talk everything old, new, upcoming Doctor Who when we have the time.
Yes.
That's the way it works now. I'm sure
Seemingly so. Yeah.
when new
What's
episodes
between?
come out, we make more of the effort, but in between, just busy, busy, busy.
Currently,
Both
yeah.
of us
Yeah.
fucking insanely busy.
Even
So
more so at the minute.
yeah, oh
Well,
man,
that was in
life is.
Scotland.
Over trip you were in Scotland,
Yeah.
up north, the north of the north.
Very, very far
Um,
north.
yeah. How was that? Was that good?
Yeah, it was. It was quite very picturesque. Saw a few places. Saw a few shows in the Edinburgh Fringe too, because we're in Edinburgh like
Nice.
for a couple of days. So
There we go. All right. On this channel, we talk new, old, classic Doctor Who and Scotland and Edinburgh. There we go. That's what we. That's specifically. It's a very
Scottish.
specific channel
Yeah,
focus point.
I
But
mean we've
anyway,
got a new Scottish Doctor, so
there we go. Yes, another one. Another novel. They just love them, don't they? But anyway, yes. Big news is Shooty Gatwa's series will be shooting in November, which is very exciting. So yes, Shooty will be shooting in November for the Series 14, which I assume will then come out either very early 24. Yeah, I think early 24.
Probably 24. Yeah, which makes sense. He's still filming Sex Education.
Yeah, they just
The type
started
of
that, so
yeah.
I assume he would like finish up, and that'll be
Which,
it for his character in
which
that.
is why there's a delay, and presumably also why they didn't try and fit the series in. Partially why
Beforehand.
they
Yeah,
didn't try to fit the series in next year, because I know I was seeing when this news was announced on Twitter, there was a bunch of people who were sort of like disappointed by it being like, oh, why do we need this side thing? Couldn't we just jump straight into duty? But like, you know, schedules are schedules, you know,
yeah.
and
Yeah, I mean, he was in He was just shooting Barbie, and now he's gone straight to Sex Education. I think he has filmed some for the 60th. There was a rumor.
yeah, but
Um,
that's probably a day or a few days.
yeah, a couple
Yeah,
scenes, not like a whole
yeah.
series. And I'm sure that series will be like at least 10, if not 12 episodes. I'd be
Oh,
surprised.
that yeah.
I'd actually be surprised if it was 10 episodes. To be honest, I think Russell T Davies likes more, but I guess if the
Yeah,
budget's
but
spread,
uh,
it really depends.
budget plus maybe mistakes learned from the last time he was showrunner, because
Yeah,
it was a very tight schedule, and he like they kind of very much overworked like generally on the set during those like early seasons a lot.
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, people quote that David Tennant had this back injury that he needed surgery for, but that wasn't from shooting. That was actually from a completely different thing. The only one I think was Capaldi hurt his leg.
Hmm.
That was it. That was like, and then Matt Smith maybe had a knee thing, which maybe, but that wasn't even Russell T Davies era.
No, it wasn't.
So it's a bit like, yeah, people get injured, whether or not
True.
it happens.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It depends. I mean, Julie Gardner is an absolute queen who gets budget. I just finished A Writer's Tale yesterday. So that was really good to read and get the insight of kind of Russell T Davies working and all that. And, I think they've got an absolute god team when it comes to just producers. Again, they've got the gang back together. So I just see them being able to achieve at least 12 episodes again. I don't see them struggling
No,
like when BBC Studios just had it by themselves.
I certainly don't think we'll see the gaps like we
No,
did
no.
during the Chibnall era. Like
I think they will start shooting series 15 not long after series 14 finishes wrapping. I think they'll be a bit like,
probably.
because really series 14 has probably, you'd hope, been finished written by now. It depends. Russell T Davies' writing style could be very last minute, as I've learnt from the book.
True, but
Um,
you would have
but
thought he would
really,
have had
the
time.
filming block is decided, right? Like they
Yeah.
know when they're going to film. So as long as they stick to those filming blocks, then there's not much. The writing side doesn't really particularly matter because Russell T Davies' writing style is just, he can just whack out these most amazing stories so quickly, and
Yeah.
it's hard work. He's a slave to the talent that he has almost, but it's amazing stuff, and rumor has it with series 14 and these anniversary specials, which keeps being referred to, I'm pretty sure it will be a few
Yeah. I
specials
mean,
throughout the
the
year.
article which was talking about the shooting for the next series also said that. I mean, they classified it as a rumor, but
Yeah,
like presumably they've might have had some sort of insider thing there to where it'd be like 3 episodes, and I can believe that.
I believe that. I think that because there is no series at all, it's like you can't just have one single special.
Hmm.
It just would it's too big a gap, and then you need to lead into Shooty's next thing. Like it would damage Shooty's thing. You need to keep that momentum going after this centenary. You need to have that because that's 2 years
Well,
of specials. This is going to be 2 years of specials now.
yeah.
22 and 23 are just specials, like,
Hmm.
which is kind of weird to think. But hey,
Yeah, but it feels like kind of a clean break, and like I think
yeah,
that's okay. I don't think they need momentum after the centenary because, well, to be frank, I don't know what momentum the centenary is gonna build up. To be honest,
yeah.
I think the
Well,
60th alone
it's
is gonna
building
build up
up.
enough momentum to carry forward.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like a lot of people are kind of excited for the centenary because it's kind of like we'll get Russell T Davies' first scene
Hmm.
back written by him,
Yeah.
and we'll start to understand the David Tennant stuff. And it's highly likely that's going to be a New Year's Day or a Christmas special. I'm probably leaning actually this time it's going to be New Year's Day, just so it's on the 60th year um,
Hmm.
of Doctor Who. And then in 2023, there will be a Christmas special. That's my guess.
Maybe.
I'd love if it was a Christmas special this year, but
Hmm.
to me, it's like, well, it's kind of celebrated the 60th. Like it's only 7 day difference almost, and
Yeah,
it's David
it's
Tennant back. It's kind of a bigger deal.
7 days plus it's a sort of it's still within the year timeline because if you think about it
I
from
suppose so.
November
Yeah,
to November,
November.
it's
Mm-mm.
still in the year. So
Yes, that's true.
I'd say it still
Well,
counts.
I don't know because you'd say November to then the following November is the year of the 60th.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
you'd have to get to November of next year to be in that year. So it's like you're more celebrating in the 59th if you're doing it before, but
Ah well. Who cares? Who
but
cares?
yeah, so that's kind of that. There's rumors that Confidential is returning,
Hmm.
um, which will be great, with these specials and the
Yeah.
series afterwards. I think it was a huge thing as it got people interested in the making of a show, which just allows more of a connection, I think, to not
Hmm.
just like the show, but the people who work on it.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
and if,
it was just like I mean, definitely, definitely. It was always like you finish the episode and then you just switch channels and continue to basically like find out okay how was this made. It just filled up your evening, you know.
it was great, yeah. Um, and yeah, and then the kind of other thing with this series 14 is rumors that Disney Plus want the kind of to stream the series as it kind of
Hmm.
airs, so it will air and then go on to Disney Plus, which is
Yeah,
huge in terms of like a money deal, and that
indeed,
money would hopefully then go into the series itself. So Series
hmm.
14 could become a lot bigger because of his streaming rights, and
Indeed.
that's a huge thing. And Doctor Who, its whole ethos and everything perfectly fits into Disney's like thing, right? If Doctor Who was a film franchise, Disney would have gone after it. I bet you. And it wasn't didn't belong to the BBC.
Yeah,
I could see Disney going to buy a franchise like Doctor Who
yeah.
and then making a fucking MCU universe style. But like
Possibly. Yeah.
it, it just fits the Disney company ethos, really.
Now it should be noted that the rumors are currently more for international distribution rather than anything
in the
terrestrial.
UK.
Yeah. So yeah, it wouldn't affect us directly, but like the money side of things would be a huge deal. Yeah, for the growth of the show, which is, I mean, not always super strong with budget, but it's always been somewhat of a constraint. Like you can feel it in
I think that's
certain areas of the show, I guess,
yeah.
more than others.
It's what I'm most excited for is seeing RTD even with just a better technology, of modern day technology. We saw RTD in 2005 quality, and a lot of it looks brilliant still. Now it's like, okay, we're like a decade on. Technology has moved forward. I'm excited to see this Russell T Davies in this era with this money and this budget and this technology. Like,
Definitely.
it's going to be awesome, man. I freaking can't wait. And that's why, like, I honestly don't care if it's just a free specials or even just two or whatever. Like, honestly, I can wait for Russell T Davies Doctor Who, like, because I know it's going to be good. Like, I know it's going to be fucking fantastic.
Definitely.
And uh, yeah, I'm excited for Doctor Who again. I've got a lot of hype. I've started rewatching Jessica Jones just to get some David Tennant taste.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
And I've gotten back into watching the episodes I haven't yet
yeah, the
watched
classic Who.
series. Just like over the past couple of days, I watched the Twin Dilemma and Attack of the Cybermen.
I mean, what better selection could you ask for, really? I actually like Attack, to be fair.
It's good.
I like Colin Baker. I
have
think
enough
that's what I like a lot about his episodes.
Yeah.
Like, I like him,
him.
and that helps me get through a lot of the not so great. The only one I really can't sit through is Time Lash. That one is just
Which is really
bad. But like that one, Vengeance on Varos is still incredible TV. That one is so good.
Yeah.
That one's so good. You'll enjoy Vengeance on Varos. I love
we watched
those
together
ones.
at some point, like
Ages
way
ago,
back.
yeah.
Was that on the trip to Austria? I don't remember.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I believe it was because I think I bought it because I was like, I don't think you'd seen any Sixth Doctor at that point.
I don't think so.
Maybe, and I was like, okay, if you're gonna see one, I wanted you to like have a good first impression. So Vengeance on Varos is probably my favorite Sixth Doctor story. I'd say that was my absolute. That's my top. Even Revelation's all right. Like it's pretty dark,
I quite like Revelation. It's not the best, but it's.
I kind of hope Shooty has a bit of a colourful outfit. Personally,
I think he will. Like I just think
something. I just really want them to go a bit. I just really want them to go something a bit more flamboyant again. Like we've had the kind of more serious. Like let's just take a risk again. Let's not let Colin Baker just be the outlier.
Jodie had a rainbow on her shirt.
I suppose like there was some color in that, but the coat was grey, right? Like what about like a colorful kind of thing,
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen. I do think that's gonna happen.
It'd be cool. But yeah, so I would be getting excited about the centenary. But we're literally like 2 months away. We're really close, and I keep forgetting how close we are to this big special. And since that trailer at Easter, we have gotten nothing.
No, like
nothing at all. Like that is a trailer they should have released like now. Rather than Easter. Easter, you should have had a teaser trailer with a title drop. Yeah, I'm so tired of saying centenary special as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think the most we've heard about it is the tiny little tidbits Sophie Aldred drops on Twitter, but like it's barely anything. Like it's nothing.
What did she say again?
It's literally just a little bit about. Like the only one I can really remember is literally just when she talked like months ago about how Russell was involved. Before it was widely reported. I think she mentioned having.
Yes, I think that gives me a bit of hope for Centenary. To be honest, I think Chris probably went to him a bit like ask for help. Yeah. I can imagine. I can imagine on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is it's kind of crazy though. Like we have two of the most beloved companions of the classic series returning, and yet everybody's forgotten that that's happening.
I know, it's kind of mad. I am excited for it. I think if Russell T has been involved, it could be good. Like, I generally hope that
Well,
Jodie's last story is good.
at
I
least
hope.
at least it wouldn't have been written in a few days like the last special.
Yeah, I hope that Russell T has kind of done a Kevin Feige and what he did for like the Spider-Man films, which Sony ignored his advice, but
Hmm.
like Kevin Feige watched them and gave him like notes for how to do the Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man films. He gave him notes. I think he gave him notes for Venom as well. Um. So yeah, hopefully it was something like that. Russell T looked through and gave notes, and hopefully we get a really strong. I'm sure like Chris is a great writer for what he does, but maybe he just needs that guiding hand at times, to help.
Guiding hand and probably kind of his own playbox. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, his own playbox, yeah. But I mean, in terms of Doctor Who,
Hmm.
I think hopefully we end on a high. I really
Yeah.
do want. Why would I want a bad episode of
No, of
Doctor Who? It
course.
makes
Same.
absolutely no sense. I want a good regeneration
Yeah.
story. I hope it's Jodie's best, fucking episode.
Agreed. Agreed. You know.
It would be
But
great.
it's just not filling me with confidence that it seems like the marketing approach hasn't changed at all.
Well, we're not getting an SFX article. Not that I ever picked it up to read, actually, SFX. It was one I've
No.
just never gone after.
I think.
But they haven't, like, the BBC refused to, like, for any spoilers, talk to SFX. And it's like, you can easily say shit without saying anything. Like I bought the most recent Doctor Who magazine where it was David Tennant and Catherine Tate on it to read that main article, and it said jack shit.
Yeah.
Like there was literally nothing in it. I was a bit disappointed. I was like, well, I guess at least there's something. I've got the cool magazine. I've got this. So there's other stuff in the magazine. So it sort of made up for it. But it's like you could still,
He just thrown an interview with Sophie Aldred and Janet Fielding, and that'd be it. Like
yeah,
that'd be enough.
yeah, it's frustrating. I suppose there'll be a new trailer about a month out in kind of September.
Days leading up to it.
And then, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even know what day it's going to be on, man. What could it.
Again, I
Centenary.
just don't get it. Like, I
It's like
just don't
October.
get why you. Russell T, in a tiny amount of time by comparison, has done way better than any of the marketing efforts they've
Because
ever
he
done.
knows.
Like,
I
and
think
they
Chibnall
barely
just
had.
doesn't.
They haven't had a TV spot. They haven't had anything. It's been pure social media marketing.
Yep.
You know, like, and he's like gotten everyone excited, like, and ready for the next era of Doctor Who, whereas this non-marketing is like, why? Do you really not want people watching this or something?
I think he just maybe just doesn't like it. Maybe it's just down to him, and he just doesn't like doing that stuff. So he kind of, to be honest, he strikes me as someone who's quite a private person who doesn't like talking to journalists or that
Yeah,
much.
but
And
then get
he
someone
basically,
else to do it. You know, he doesn't need to do it himself.
yeah, but it's just I don't know. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, man, R2D2 is coming up. That is like it's 2 months away, and then his new era begins. And then I'm sure we're going to get loads. I think we'll get a lot more teasers and stuff. I mean, if the David Tennant special is coming New Year's Day, we'll get a date drop after the centenary for when this special's coming.
Oh yeah,
Like we're gonna get a date drop,
definitely.
and it will be either Christmas or January. Like they've shot like a whole like 2 episodes. It must be two, right? To have Meet the
Probably.
Beep and the Celestial Toy Maker. Well,
Well,
rumored. I mean, it's high chance it is
yeah. I
with
mean,
Neil Patrick Harris. That is way
unless
more time to edit everything.
Meet the Beat stuff is just sort of like
A James
an
Bond opening,
yeah, an
yeah,
opening, yeah, yeah.
which could be interesting.
Hmm.
Maybe potentially.
Hmm.
But who knows? I mean, if they did a Christmas Day and a New Year's Day special, and then some other like why not? Like it's 60 years, like the amount of money Doctor Who probably made on merchandise
Hmm.
in the 50th year would have probably been insane. I mean, we went to that freaking convention, and we should probably try and go to the 60th if they do
Oh
do one.
yeah, definitely.
But
Down.
you know, like they're gonna make so much money. It's
Hmm.
a shame I've bought all the classic DVDs now. 'Cause
Same.
what am I
And
gonna
now
buy?
bought all the. You could have better
All the
finished the
Blu-rays.
modern DVDs like I did.
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, do need to. But yeah, it's mad. But Sergen Akinola is leaving. The
Officially now.
centenary is he's going
Was
to be
just
his last one.
speculating it anyway. Like,
Yeah, I didn't
I don't.
think RTD was going to keep him, to be honest. He likes the balmy, he likes the music that Murray Gold does. He's worked with Murray Gold on everything. So I think it's probably a good chance that Murray Gold will be at least back for 60th.
Yeah.
Maybe after that, no, but who knows?
I guess we'll see on that front. Yeah, no, I definitely think Murray Gold will be, which is weird
We'll
to
be
say
back.
replacement, but you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
coming back,
Yeah.
which I'll be excited about. I was listening to some of the special soundtrack today.
Hmm.
It's phenomenal shit,
Hmm.
really. So good.
Definitely.
So yeah, I guess that's kind of everything. There's really nothing Centenary to talk about apart
Yeah.
from they didn't talk to SFX, which is huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was like a trailer for the like Centenary, BBC 100 Years,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Doctor Who appears for like
I
2 seconds.
heard about that. Yeah. Wasn't it? Well, wasn't it like a longer thing? Like,
Yeah, it's like a minute something trailer, I think. Like Doctor Who appears for like a single shot.
wow.
Like their biggest show ever to be made is a single shot. It's painful.
Hmm.
Like if this was David Tent days, he'd be fucking at least 10 seconds
Oh
of it.
yeah.
You know, Daleks, him, companion, whatever. You know, whatever was going on at the
What
time,
were
it
they
would have been.
focusing on then?
I think it was just Jodie for a shot or something.
Hmm.
It was so little Doctor Who.
And what else were they focusing on?
Oh, just other shows, I guess. The other upcoming things. EastEnders probably is in there.
Hmm.
Just their long term things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Abominable
Oh
Snowman.
yeah. Speaking of
Man,
DVD,
man,
speaking of
yeah.
lacking in build up and no marketing,
And basically no budget, I
seemingly
guess.
so.
Uh,
Because if you look at the pictures, which they released of it, and see the Yeti in the background, they're all in the exact same
it's the
like
same. They've just
weird
mirrored it.
pose. Yeah, they just
They just mirrored the.
but not but like
They're shrugging.
yeah, on like the same picture in two sides, and then they got a shot in the doorway where there's like three of them still doing the same pose, and it's like
Is this for the Blu-ray?
I think well, I think these were the leaked photos from the BFI.
The from the actual pictures, yeah.
Yeah,
So the pictures, yeah. Just
yeah,
the DVD box cover has two of them doing the same
and the
pose.
doctors
And
all
Patrick Troughton going like,
It's it's probably the worst DVD cover they've maybe ever. Well, okay, maybe some of the early releases with like the destroyed
Okay, the single
Dalek in
frame,
terms of
yeah.
remembrances, but like that comes really close, and like it, even the trailer, it just was so much
Bad.
stiffer than a lot of the previous animations. It's like you can feel the budget cuts, and it's like no marketing of it. Like the announcement that it was happening was very unceremonious, and I think again most people have forgotten that it
Most people
DVD
found
was
out by their Amazon order going, hey, this is releasing
yeah.
September 5th.
Yeah, it changed the listing, and then slightly later they also leaked the box art before they actually had the official press release and such. It's just
Crazy.
strange. Again, it's like they want to bury it. It feels
Yeah.
like.
Well, I feel like budget has run out halfway through on this, and
Hmm.
it was like, well, we'll finish this one, but you've only got this much budget left, so deal with it. Because it can happen like that. People will just remove a load of budget from something and be like, you've got this much to complete it, and then
Sucks,
they just
yeah.
shrug, and people are like, well, fuck, and these people who put time and effort and really wanted to do good now have to rush
Hmm.
it, make something that doesn't even look that great, and then it's like I feel sorry for the animators because
Oh
they
yeah,
probably wanted to put a lot more effort into it, but if
absolutely.
they also shouldn't work crazy hours if they're not going to be paid to do so.
Hmm.
So it's sad and it's frustrating because we're getting so close to all these animations being done, and now the budget's gone.
Yeah. Indeed, you
Hopefully
would have
there'll
thought
be
they
a
would have gone to the
resurgence.
gut with a bit of a bang, right? But
Like, well, I'm guessing that they actually thought they were going to be going for a lot longer, and this was just going to be the next in the long line of redos. I'm hoping with the 60th and an ignition of like new fans and old fans getting back into it, and people who are into, still fans right now and watching it get more excited for it. That hopefully more interest will go back in. More pressure and budget. Russell T will probably get these DVDs, right? Like I can't see him not getting these. So
hopefully, yeah. I mean,
you know,
I think I've said this before, but I think it might take decades, but eventually we'll probably have some form of all the episodes
yeah.
released.
RTD is like a huge advocate for the show in all ways, and like he knows all the audios. When I'm reading A Writer's Tale, he goes, the what was it, the Ice Warriors and the Moonbase are the exact same story, and they are like,
Pretty much.
yeah, but like he knows this off by heart, and it's like, I don't even think Moonbase was on DVD by then, which means he either read the book or he listened to the audios, so he clearly cares and loves this old media. Um, so yeah,
Hmm.
I think hopefully maybe with RTD coming back, not all hope is lost. I mean, these started during RTD's era.
Yeah.
That's when the first, and then it came to the 50th, and that's when there was a sudden explosion of how many were being made.
Yeah.
Um,
And granted, I
so
don't think he really had a hand in actually making them happen exactly. Like,
no, but
the
it's
Invasion
helping with the show.
animation came about from the webcasts at the Cosgrove Hall, and
Yeah,
that was more of an experiment when it initially happened. And then it was just fan demand, which eventually made like the physical media like arm of the BBC be like, yeah, let's fund this. And particularly during the 50th year, of course, they really ramped up on the
there was like
animations.
Reign of Terror, The 10th Planet.
Ice
What else did we get that year?
Warriors
Ice Warriors was brilliant. That was really good
was the same year.
animation.
Moonbase was the same year as well.
Moonbase.
They were all done the same year. All those ones.
Yeah,
I think that was it. I think it was 4 in that 1 year. Which
yeah.
is kind of
Uh,
insane, given the pace which we
and then
had
we
it.
yeah, and then we had a gap, and then we had like what else? And then also in that time we also got Enemy of the World and Web of Fear was found, so that was
Yeah.
dope at that time as well.
We nearly got the Underwater Menace animated, but
Yeah, that's a shame.
uh,
Weird that one.
hmm,
But then we got Power and Evil, which I'm happy we got those. So really, it's only one Dalek story that we're missing. It's
yeah,
Master Plan,
Master Plan.
which I'm pretty happy about that. I really was sad that we didn't have any visual form of Patrick Troughton's Dalek stories, and now I can say I've seen them, which
Well,
makes me
they
really
had
happy.
episode 2 of
Two
Evil
of yeah,
Dalek.
I'd seen that, but in its entirety, I
Yeah,
hadn't
sure.
seen the Patrick Troughton Daleks. Now we have them. I'm surprised William Space hasn't been done. I'm guessing that might
Again,
have been the
there was
next
a
one.
weird like
The
60 minutes.
animation, right?
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, like why did they? What's the
bother.
point in that?
Yeah,
Like, uh, it makes sense as test animation if it was done early on, but like it just suddenly dropped it at the BFI event, and it was just like,
yeah.
why did you bother? Like, what was the reason why you? Was it meant to be one which they cancelled and then they just released a little bit which they done, or I just never understood that. Never understood that in the least.
It's a shame we're not getting Celestial Toymaker because it's the perfect time if Neil Patrick Harris is playing him.
Sure.
But yeah, so that's it. Comes out September 5th. I'm sure we'll probably talk about it around then.
Yeah.
Give it a watch and talk about it.
Yeah. I guess so. I guess so. Speaking of merchandising things dying, Eagle Moss, they made cool things and now they are dead. It is sad.
It
Rest
is
in
sad.
peace.
I have a few. And yeah, I guess on the morbid
Oh
tone,
gosh.
the sad
I
tone,
didn't even. Oh.
to
Oh
segue.
god.
Sadly, very sadly, Bernard Cribbins died just I think a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
And at the age of 93, lived a lovely, amazing, long, a huge star, a lovely person in British media. He
Yeah.
was in the Carry On films, voice of the Wombles, did so much Jackanory. I think he was the person who almost did the most. I think actually, he had such a lovely, soft voice. Um, and we watched him very recently in those the 4K
Yeah.
remastering of
Well,
the Peter
specifically
Cushing.
the second one,
Yes, he's in
Invasion
there.
of
Yeah,
Earth.
he's the he plays Tom, the policeman in the
Mm.
Invasion of Earth one, and it was
Yeah.
so lovely to see him on big screen, all
All young.
full of energy and young. Yeah, so lovely, and
Mm. Yeah.
yeah,
Now,
very
unfortunately,
sad.
to have had the chance to have briefly met him. Granted, it was in quite a rushed, I guess, environment. The whole like the actual station where they did the signing was kind of like a thin kind of walkway, and they sort of just had it there, like these various tables. Um, but however, like he made sure, made sure everybody, you know, was comfortable. Like he was, like I said, lovely. And like he was like even for free, like letting people just have like giving the like taking photos with him. Like he just
Yeah,
like because most of the people, they charge for
you charge
photos.
for
I
yeah,
mean, granted, of course, that's done in the booth and all professionally done and whatnot. But yeah, just as everything was going along the line, it was just like, oh, do you want to, lean in and take a picture with me? And hopefully, I've edited that in. Um, a little picture with me and him, and it's,
lovely.
yeah.
It was sad. It's one of those ones which I think hits, it sends a shiver through the whole nation, really. It's
Wilf was
we
absolute
loved him as
highlight.
well.
Yeah, he's
He is
incredible.
probably, as I said to you, probably the best like side character of Doctor Who.
Mm.
He's up there with the best, probably the best of New Who. Just a wonderful twinkle in his eye. I'll never. Oh God, just everything about him, especially in the end of time. And reading a writer's tale, I'm reading these Wolf lines and how Bernard Cribbins loved the show. He absolutely loved it. He came up with the paintball idea to shoot the Dalek in the ice stalk with that paintball gun, and you just remember all these. He just brought so much life to these lines, and as I'm reading, extracts of the End of Time scripts, I'm reading all his lines in his voice, and I can see how much he put into these, just black and white texts. He took this and he made such an amazing character with these lines. The intonations and the way he'd say stuff, and what's an actor.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's still things to this day. People still use that salute gif, of Bernard
The
Cribbins
salute,
from
but
the End
also
of
the
Time.
whole
Yes,
mouth
yeah, where it's
thing. Yeah.
sad. And I mean, I'll never forget him heading that little kind of ball thing when they returned to Earth. Everyone's celebrating and it's
Yeah.
cheering. And Wolf's Wiggle, I'll never
Oh yeah, of
forget
course,
that.
of
That
course.
little dance. Just the End of Time is such an amazing piece. And actually, the more I was reading a writer's tale, the more I was being like, this is. I look back, I think I overlook. I always knew I enjoyed End of Time, but I think I overlook just how bloody good it is,
Yeah.
just how fantastic it is as an episode. It raises the stakes perfectly,
Tremendously.
and
Yeah.
just to have Wilf be the reason, and Bernard Cribbins absolutely sold it. Like the bit where he barely has any dialogue. David Tennant's just shouting, the doctor's shouting at him, and his facial reactions just are so perfect. And yeah, that's not the last we see of Wilf.
No, one more time.
If they do include, which I'm sure they will,
They will. Yeah.
um, the scenes that he shot recently with David Tennant and Catherine Tate, yeah, for the 60th special. But yeah,
It's gonna be emotional. Yeah.
it's amazing, and Russell T Davies wrote a lovely post for him on Instagram, and yeah, just very very emotional. I felt a lot of. I was very sad that day.
Same.
Yeah, and David Warner also passed away very recently
Yeah.
as well. You know, played
Yeah.
Professor Gridsko in I'm not sure if I'm saying that quite right. It's the
Yeah.
Russian name in Cold
Yeah.
War,
Mm.
and he was enough a wonderful character. You know, I think had that been a Russell T Davies era character, he would have shown up again at some point doing something. You know, it's like Midshipman Frame shows up again in the end of time. You know, a Russell T character is never dead. They can
Yeah.
always show up in the most interesting way.
Random ways. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so yeah, very sad. But
Mm.
I think there will be a slight bittersweet watching the 60th now. I'll
Mm.
enjoy it a lot, but it's almost the sadness of knowing that it's the last.
Mm.
It'll be the last time. Probably, I think that's probably his last thing that he filmed.
Yeah,
I
because
assume it will
he
be the
could.
very.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is because he couldn't do. He was going to be in. They wanted him in the Railway Children movie, the recent one,
Oh
but
yes,
he
the
couldn't do
returns.
it.
Yeah.
I can't remember if that was like a health issue or something, but he
I mean,
couldn't do it,
yeah.
and they didn't think he was going to be able to do the 60th either. But you know, there
I
he
think
was.
yeah,
Yeah.
he probably he pushed through because it was Doctor Who.
Mm.
I mean, that's the wonderful man that he was. He just had the loveliest, softest voice. You know, um, he would have been, I think, an amazing person to have a meal with. You know,
Mm.
and like the lovely bit in End of Time when he's talking about like when he was during the war and that he didn't kill anyone. You know, that was all Bernard Cribbins. You know, he went to war and you know there's that amazing bit where the woman says like, you know, you didn't kill anyone. It's like you say that like that's a bad thing almost. You know, he's in. It's the you could tell it's his real emotion. It's Bernard Cribbins in that moment, not Wilfred Mott. Um, I need to rewatch End of Time. I think like it, brilliant entertainment, absolutely
Definitely,
amazing. I only
definitely.
watched it recently as well when I was doing my rewatch of everything. Waters and Mars and that one. Just those two at the end. What a way to end an era.
Yeah, gosh.
But yeah, that's kind of it, really.
Yeah,
To end on
pretty
on a
much.
more of a sad note.
Yeah.
But yeah, Centenary up next, and I'm sure we'll have. There'll be a trailer like 2 days before, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah. Indeed,
And then
indeed.
then I'm sure there's going to be a lot more coming up. Should be
Yeah.
a lot more exciting to talk about.
Yeah.
Um,
Indeed. As for us, hopefully I should have another review out soon by the time
yes,
of
we need
saying
to
this.
make that thumbnail.
Yeah.
Uh, I'll get on that tomorrow morning, maybe. If not
Don't sound very
Monday.
sure.
I got plans,
Of
man. I'm
course.
a busy guy.
Yeah, of course.
Busy. But yeah, awesome. Well, that's it. You can
Mm.
subscribe if you want. We kind of use this more of a space just to have our conversations, really.
Yeah.
If you want to tag along for the ride, feel free.
Mm.
We're not about that whole YouTube game. We're just doing this
Nah.
for fun.
Just doing
So just talking Doctor
going with
Who,
the path, yeah.
shooting the shit. You know,
Indeed. Indeed.
that's it.
Just
But
love the
yeah,
love of it.
yeah, exactly. And you know, I'm sure I'm going to be watching a lot of classic Doctor Who
Mm.
quite soon. I might go back now and do because I'm kind of doing watch along in two parts. I was kind of doing modern Who. I did like classic Who. I got quite far in. I don't know where I got up to. Maybe I just watched the Time Meddler, and now I need to watch Galaxy 4 again.
Mm.
But yeah, and I kind of stopped and I went and did New Who. Like I did the whole RTD era because it's so easy to binge watch that era
True,
because
true.
it's
It
just
does
so
have, there
good.
is so much classic Doctor Who that is difficult and quite imposing. You know,
Yeah,
I intend to do it myself at some point, but that's going to take a long time, both because of the sheer amount of like actual releases there are, but also in preparation for it, like ages ago, like I actually bought a lot of the box sets of like the missing
Oh, the missing episodes, yeah.
yeah, so that I could like fill in those gaps.
Yeah.
And just have a listen to and sort of experience the whole era, you know, in some
Yeah.
way. But like that's gonna be quite a commitment, and I don't know when on earth I'm gonna have the time to
You just
do
do
that.
it slowly. Yeah.
Yeah.
An episode, 125-minute episode every week, you know.
Mm.
It might have to be that, and then maybe you watch two because you're like, oh, there we go, got some time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. You
I
go
mean,
through
thus far,
spurts,
whenever I've
really.
had time, it's just I've just binged like full episodes, like all four parts.
Yeah, the whole
two
story, yeah.
part. Yeah. Because I know in a way like it's traditional to wait for Doctor Who after the cliffhanger and such, but I just
No,
love the
I
stories.
usually, yeah, I've watched it like that. The only one I really had gaps, I watched The Enemy of the World quite slowly.
Yeah, when I was a
That
kid,
had great cliffhangers actually, so it was pretty good.
when I was a kid with my parents, whenever I'd get like a new physical release, we'd always spread that out over different nights. I remember stuff like when I first watched Tomb of the Cybermen or Genesis of the Daleks or the Time Meddler. Like when we were watching with my parents, we would just do it different days. That'd be an interesting sort of way to, I guess, experience it in almost kind of a way they originally did. But I don't have that patience anymore. God damn it, modern world.
Yes, the algorithms have screwed us. All right.
God.
Well, there we go. That's it, guys. That's your fill of Eyes of Harmony for the next 4 months. So eat it up.
Nick, I hope you made that a thumbnail by then.
Who knows? I'm sure I'll get it done.
Although again, I recorded that one in February, so I mean, I guess does that count?
Yeah, that's the 4 months, I guess,
February.
and more. Yeah, I mean that's more.
God.
Yeah, second, 6 months. So yeah, I think we've even saying that. Yeah, we're gonna try a review a month. Fucking gonna happen, did it?
We did at one point. Like we briefly had like, I mean, when we used to do batches, of course, it was like every. But yeah.
Maybe we should go back to almost doing batches. That seems more reliable.
Then, like, actually getting 10 reviews or 5 reviews recorded was in itself a challenge.
Unless we pay someone to edit it for us, that would make. To be fair, like that would make life easier. I guess it depends how much they charge. Maybe some point. I think after you finish college, and I'm kind of more settled, or at least moved out of home, that would be a good time to maybe take the game to another level. But at the minute, there's just not the time.
Just flowing.
Just flowing, just vibing. Yeah. All right. Catch you later, guys.